ago, when I was in my 20s, I went on this amazing presentation skills course. And the one tip they said, which stuck with me right up until now, was never stand up in front of an audience and admit what you don't know. Like, I remember listening to a presentation where someone stood up like this and said, "Look guys, I'm not very good at presenting." And of course everyone then looking for the reasons why they weren't good presenters. So I'm going to break that rule, and I think the session we just had proved this. And I'm going to say I am not an AI guru, and I'm not pretending to be. I'm just a bit of a techie nerd that likes tech. And when in November 2022, when this ChatGPT thing came about, I started playing with it then. I was then on a different coaching program to this before I joined MDS, and they developed their own product called Searchy. And Searchy is it's like an LMS, it's like school. But the clever thing about it is you can search videos. And then they launched this AI part of Searchy with the promise that you could then interrogate the videos. So you would literally upload all your videos like Richard's got in school, and then anyone could interrogate those videos and have a conversation with the video. Doesn't that sound absolutely amazing?
Yeah.
But this is a big, big, big but. The truth of it was, it wasn't very good. So I bought Searchy. I've still got a license of it. I don't use it at all now, with this thought of, great, I'm going to create an AI coach. And I used Searchy and realised that it was a bit crap, and that the answers it was giving was very far removed from the answers I would give. But just to step that back a little bit, to tell you a little bit about me, I run a coaching program called the Self-Running Agency, and I've got about 50, 60 members in the program. And every day, because part of what I offer them is they send me stuff to review, and they ask me questions. And so I allocate an hour every single day to spend time answering their questions and giving them feedback, and I sort of promise this level of like, I'll get back to you within 24 hours. And then I thought, okay, well, I want to find a better way of doing this. Searchy wasn't going to be that thing for me. No diss on that product, it's fine as a learning management system. It's just not very good at the moment of being an AI coach. Then I discovered this platform that I'm using now called CoachVox, and I'm not trying to sell that platform at all to you, because you can do a lot of what I'm going to tell you about if you have ChatGPT. So I bought this product called CoachVox, and the thing I really like about it is the fact that it's trained to be a coach. So what you do is you set your tone. Do you want it to be a coach? Do you want it to mentor? And the whole premise of me doing this was so that I could offer my members what I've called Ask Rob Anything. So when someone joins my program now, they get access to all the content like in school. They get access to the calls that I do every couple of weeks, but they also get access to Ask Rob Anything. And I'll show you the product in a second. So they can now ask me anything, because this product has been trained, and I'm still training a bit, it's been trained over 1,000 bits of content now. And it's really, really clever. And so I just want to share with you a few of the use cases. Like, I haven't really prepared a presentation for this, but I did make a few notes. So I don't even have a fancy diagram like they produced.
I just drew that this morning.
I know, it's good So I created this tool so that people can go and get access to me 24/7.
Are we seeing your screen?
I think it's.
No, I'm not trying to share. I'm not trying to share anything yet. Leave that there, because I want you to look at me, not that.
Okay.
I'll show you that in a second. So the use case for me initially was the obvious one, which is I want to give my members 24/7 access to me, where they can ask the most stupid question that they may not want to ask me or the community, but they can get access to me. They can also use it as a bit of a search tool, because it can share documents and things that are actually in my program as well. But I've discovered three other really interesting use cases. One is that, guess what? Every time someone sends me those emails saying, "Rob, can you look at this document?" or "Rob, I'm stuck with this, what do you think?" the first thing I do now is I bung it in Ask Rob Anything, and it comes up with an answer that I spend a couple of minutes editing, because usually it's there or thereabouts right, and then I send it back to them. So that's another use case that I didn't expect. The second use case is that I've got a VA team who are doing lots of the things that Richard talks about. One of the things they're doing is they're going onto LinkedIn and they're answering, they're commenting on posts of people I'd like to work with. Now I've given my VA team access to my tool, and they can go in and they can take that post and they can say, write a response to this. But the interesting thing about using Ask Rob Anything instead of ChatGPT is that the answer is only coming from my content. So it's not going to the World Wide Web at all to get an answer. It's only using my content. So I know that it's never going to say something really stupid. You know, you hear this term that AI hallucinates, where it makes up things that aren't true. Well, this can't, because it's only using my content. So I've got like a knowledge base, if you like, that is sitting behind my tool. So my VAs now can respond to things in my tone of voice, using my content, way quicker. So that's the second use case. The third use case is that you just said it, that I'm old and grey and I can't remember things.
Yeah.
So now I can use my knowledge base to help me write stuff. So if I'm writing a LinkedIn post or something, I'll use that, not ChatGPT, to help me write my post. And again, it's going to use my content. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that thing that I said 4 years ago. But what did I learn about this along the way? Like anything in life, the output is only as good as the input. And this comes back to what we've just been talking about. Like if you ask ChatGPT a vague question, you're going to get a vague answer. And it's the same in terms of training my tool, that you have to train it really, really carefully. And the reason why things like Searchy don't work very well is because you're not really training it, you're just uploading all your videos, and then you're expecting the AI to be able to interpret a video that was never input to be AI-able, if there's such a word. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the AI is trying to guess from the video or from the podcast or from the transcript that you've uploaded what you actually meant. And it doesn't work very well. It may well get better in the future because we know how quickly it's all changing, but it doesn't work very well. So what the tool I'm using does is I actually get to upload the question and the answer. So far I've uploaded, you'll see in a minute, like over 1,000 questions and answers that my audience are asking me. So this is how my use case works. So I record a podcast every single week. My podcast goes into Cast Magic and immediately gets transcribed. It writes all my LinkedIn posts, and then I've trained it so that it can take my podcast and write it in a question and answer format in a table, and then copy that table and I input it into Ask Rob Anything. So this is a very automated process that takes me maybe 10 minutes, and I've got all my podcasts now uploaded into my back-end platform. If I just took the transcript and uploaded it, which I could do, it's not going to do a very good job because there's no way of editing it. When I'm recording a podcast, I'm not thinking, am I making this in a format that would be good for an AI tool? So you have to, that's where the hard work is in this, is that you have to spend the time getting the structure right. But it can do some really clever things. Like it can share, I'll show you in a minute. One of the things I really like about this, I've trained it in all my frameworks. And I'll show you, what I did before this is I asked my platform a question and I asked ChatGPT the same question. I'll show you the answer so you can see the difference. So I've trained it in all my frameworks. So for example, if you go into Ask Rob Anything, you say, can you help me set objectives for my account director, which is a question my audience would ask, it's going to take you through the steps and go, it needs to be a SMART objective. What time scale are you looking at? So it's going to follow my framework. So I've trained it in my frameworks. That's what I really like. And just in terms of like a longer term thing for me, is I hope to retire in a couple of years' time. And fundamentally, I'm a one-person business. So where's the equity in my business? There isn't really any equity in my business because it's me. I sell me, even though it's a program. Well, guess what? When I'm building this chatbot, this coaching platform, I hope I'll be able to sell that as actually a tangible asset, all my knowledge in when I retire. So that's something else.
That's a legacy.
And the other thing I didn't mention, the sort of fourth use case, is that I'm actually selling this as a standalone platform now as well. So you can buy, again, I'm not trying to sell this to you guys, you can buy my platform, it's only 15 quid a month, and you get access to the platform. What's been really interesting about that, in case anyone else is thinking this though, is I find it easier to sell £1,000 worth of coaching than a £15 AI platform at the moment. Why is that? It's because we are not yet used to the idea of having AI coaches. But trust me, just like we just said a year ago, we did this exercise and we were like, what's AI? And we, look where we're coming a year. A year from now, we'll be sitting here and everyone will have an AI coach on their phone. They'll have a health coach or a fitness coach or a life coach, a mental health coach, and a business coach. So we are not yet in that mindset. And what I've struggled, so I've sold about 15 people have bought my product, which is great because it pays for the platform I'm using. But what I struggle with is getting them to consistently use it. I even teach people how to put it on their phones. I send them an email almost every day going, this is what you can do. But I can still see in the back end that some people aren't using it in the way I want them to use it.
Well, sorry, check the question. Are you selling access to your coach, or are you selling someone being able to create an app?
No, I'm selling access to my platform's called Ask Rob Anything. I'm selling that as a standalone tool that they can buy. It's almost like a downsell from a membership. So if someone doesn't want to join my membership, I've got a downsell option now to say, well, actually, you're not ready to join the membership. You can still get access to me, my content through this. So that's not the primary reason I did it. But
how much does it cost you to run to actually
$99 a month.
So you pay $99 to correct, then you can create your own Ask Rob Anything.
Yeah, and I don't pay any other costs on that.
So if I wanted to do an Ask Julian thing, it cost me £99 a month.
$99 a month, yeah. So,
Have you, when it draws on all the know-how that you've got, are you using URLs to direct it to all of these sources?
Yep.
You're not actually having to enter the content into the database fields.
Oh, I am. Yes, so I'll show you.
Well.
But someone says to me, "Have you got a job description for an account manager?" I ask Rob Anything. I'll go, "Yeah, I have. Here you go," and it will share a URL, and I've got all of that stored in the back end.
So it's a combination of getting it in real time from a URL and stuff that's actually in the database.
Yeah.
That it has analysed and.
Yes. Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
So.
Who's the handsome man in that
Yeah,
circle?
who's that
That's
AI
my
generated?
AI. That's AI avatar Rob.
He might take over for you one day.
Yes. So okay. Sorry.
So my CoachVox is the name you've given your.
No, CoachVox is
That's the
the.
platform.
It's
Is
the
it called
platform.
Vox or Vox?
Box, it's on screen there.
Yes.
Oh, just scroll up. Something like that.
For views,
That's really frustrating. It's. I'm going to have to see if I can get online because it has. Anyway, I'll just show you around the platform really quickly. So, so basically, the first things you do is you say who you are. So basically, this is an interface that I guess sits on top of a ChatGPT that the people who developed this have got. So you put a little bit about yourself. This is what I find really interesting. You decide. Do I want to answer in a coaching style, in other words, ask lots of questions, or do I want to be more of a mentor, which means I'll tell you the answer? Do I want to be empathetic, or do I want to be straight talking, long responses, and so on? So you do all of that.
Rob, just on that one, is it a scale or is it one or other?
No, it's a slide, so I can literally move the slider like this. So that's that. You then set up greetings, so you can just sort of put it in the style of the way you communicate, sign-offs and all that kind of stuff. And then you can set up these starter prompts. So what I do, interestingly enough, guys, on a Monday, I change the starter prompt to say, can you help me set my tasks for the goals for the week? And then on a Friday, I set it up to say, let's review how you got on your goals. And I've trained this to say, give me your top 3 goals, make sure they're smart, let's dig into each one of them, let's make sure you're scheduling in your diary, and then on a Friday they can come back and share them and we can dig into how they got on. So I'm trying to create accountability that way.
And where is that? Where do those prompts go for your
I'll show you. For some reason, this is just sort of logged off what I'd saved here.
Does this operate as a chat box with a little thing down in the corner of the screen that they can jump in and ask?
You could if you wanted it to, but no, I haven't got it like that anyway. I've just got it as
like a form they fill in, is it?
yeah, sorry, my my laptop's about to die because that's not charging. Well, I better be quick because my laptop's going to die. I don't know why this isn't charging. So this is what it looks like. So you log on to it and these are the 4 questions. Oh, thanks for So I set all this up, but for some reason or other I've lost it. So I'm going to ask it this question. Can you help me write my elevator pitch? And this is the kind of question that someone might ask. The one downside about this at the moment is it's quite slow. And the reason it's slow is because it's going to my knowledge base, it's getting the responses from the knowledge base, and then it's making sure it answers in my style. So it's frustrating that it's slow. But while it's waiting, this is what ChatGPT says. So it's a pretty good answer. Course to create blah blah blah. This is what you do, and it's asked me to tell you a little bit about them. So I'm going to copy that answer. The difference here is that my one's come back. It has given you a process, and this is the format I want you to write it. We help this market go from this to this. So it's asked for a specific, and this is my framework that I trained it on. So and then it's going to say, shall we start by identifying your target market? So I'm going to go, yeah, my target market is SME agency owners, and asking ChatGPT to do the same thing. ChatGPT has just immediately then gone and written me an elevator pitch, which is okay, but it's extremely generic, and it hasn't really dug into like what the challenge is anymore. Whereas this has come back and it said, let's dig a bit deeper. What are the primary issues that your audience has? And let me say they don't have enough time. They over-service clients. They are not. Sorry, I did type all this before, but it's gone. So now this is coaching me through it. So as opposed to ChatGPT, which is just giving me an answer, this is actually taking my responses. I've given it 3. I followed this question, and you can see how this works. So it's much more of a coaching session. And then when it gets to, oh no, this is the annoying thing. When it gets to the end point, so again, this is kind of very similar to how I would answer. If a client said this to me. So it says, would you like to dig into any of these areas any deeper? And I can say, no, write me my elevator pitch based on bugs. This is like those Blue Peter things where you make one earlier, except I did make one earlier, but it disappeared. So we really are soon. Anyway, you get the idea. And what I think for us is that providing this to our members is just such a fantastic. There we go. So it's written it. Based on a discussion, here's a draft. So we help SME agency owners who are struggling with time management, over-servicing, client profitability issues, blah blah blah. Then I could actually do this now. Sorry, I just go onto my website. Here's my elevator pitch or my position statement. I could actually say this is my elevator pitch. Can you help me improve it? And it's going to review that, and it's going to come back with something better.
Why do you always do that? The one above, when you said, can you write my elevator pitch? If you, Rob, the site owner, hadn't put in enough content to be able to do that,
Yes.
because you assume there's a nice assumptions here that you've got lots of content in there. If you're sort of starting to build your content, it's not going to be able to reduce it.
No, this is completely based on my content. So
yeah. So how did then look to your clients and kind of go, well, there's slides of hard costs?
I would build it up before I released it. I did a beta version of this with about 10 people that I gave it to for free to get their feedback, but also to see what questions they were asking to help me train the AI to know that I should answer those questions. So one of the really good things about this, so let me just finish this and I'll show you that. So here it's taken my
glad you made progress on your elevator pitch. Let's take a closer look. That's what I wrote. It's now critiqued that, and it's actually rewritten it. So that's quite interesting. I should actually look at this and see if I can do a better job.
And presumably, as people ask questions, you're building up your question bank all the time.
Absolutely. So if I can go into clients here. I can look at all of the chats. So let's see, Holly here has used it on the 15th. Let's see what she said. I can see the transcript here. Actually, this is a silly one. She's asked about Octopus sales funnel automation. That's far too specific. I don't want to add stuff. I don't know what Octopus is. Let's find a better one, actually. So I can basically go into the back end and see every single chat and then train it based on things that are asking. But when it comes to uploading content, this is the hard work bit.
How long did it take you to do what you've done so far?
Quite a lot of time.
Would you have to do it yourself, or could you use a VA to upload?
You could, but you want to really be looking at all the answers. So you can see I've uploaded 1,139 things so far. And basically you upload it in the form of a prompt or completion, or basically a question and an answer. You can see here, like I've said, what is a SMART framework? And I've educated it on that, so that when I say you should use SMART goals when you are setting your weekly goals, it now knows what the SMART framework is because I've trained it here. This is the hard work there.
You have to find yourself arguing with yourself.
But interesting enough, so what you can do there is you go into this fine-tuning one, and then you ask it questions, and if you don't like the answer, you can change the answer, and then it will change it in the back end. So here I said, what strategies can I implement to improve my team's productivity? Let's see what it comes up with, blah, 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 and then I can edit them. So I'm often doing that. So every time I add something new, I'll go and trial it, and if it doesn't, because obviously you want to try variations on questions, and if it doesn't answer it in the right way, the way I'd answer it, I edit it here, and then it pipes it through.
And Rob, what kinds of content? You said 1,139. Word documents, URLs, videos, what were they?
Yeah, so this is what I do. I take a video, like one of my video lessons,
For the prompts.
from my course,
Right.
put it into CastMagic, because CastMagic can interpret videos or
Right.
audio. That will, I've then got a prompt to say, write in this format as many questions and answers as you can, make the answers as detailed as possible, and put it in a 2-column table. And I can literally copy and paste that, stick it in an Excel spreadsheet, edit that, and then upload it.
Where do you do that bit, Rob? The table bit?
You can do it I do it in CastMagic, but you could do it in ChatGPT.
Is it called CastMagic?
Cast, as in fishing.
CAST.
So like, if you start off by thinking all the questions all your clients asked, and then write the
Let me
answers
tell you what I
that you
did.
give them.
Let me tell you what I did. I got this product, I uploaded everything, and then realised I need to delete it all and start again.
Wow.
Because it was a mess. So what the people that create this talk about is you have your trunk of your tree, which is the core of what you do. The trunk has branches, and those are the different topics, and the branches have leaves, and those are the detailed answers. And you always need to start with the trunk, then the branch, and then the leaves. What I was doing is starting with all the leaves, like what's every question anybody could ever ask, upload it all, and it just didn't give good answers.
So it didn't know where it was going.
No, and I was contradicting myself.
So you're giving a path for it to travel.
Yeah, so you need to always think, okay, so what I've done now is I've got a big Excel spreadsheet. Every time I upload something, I put it in the category where I'm uploading it. And then I make sure I haven't already uploaded something similar, because then then what happens with the AI is going, well, do I use that answer or that answer? It doesn't really know what to do. So I've been a lot more kind of conscientious about it this time doing it, because again, you put crappy conflicting data in, you get kind of crappy conflicting information out. So that's the big learning, I think.
Wow, I really honour the time you've taken to do that.
It's good, I like it. Do you know what I was saying to Eleanor earlier? If I could close my membership down, stop doing everything, and just do this and sell loads of this, I'd do this.
For sure.
Because if you ever want to disconnect time from money, then let's face it, even with a membership, we've sort of disconnected our time from our money to some extent, but we still have to show up to do our weekly moments and our group calls and all the rest of this, I don't have to at all. I can check the back end and see what people are writing. I can upload content when I want to. I just think, I hope that I'm just sort of at the early stages of the cusp of this, and that it's really going to take off, and there's no one will want to buy it. But at the moment, I think people are still getting their heads around it. And I don't call this a chatbot, by the way, because I'm trying to separate myself from chatbots. I call it an AI coaching platform. So,
Well, it offers more value than
well, and also I've got it set up so there's a discussion group with it as well, and some videos explaining how to use it and all that stuff. So.
it's really great. Well done.
Amazing.